Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of The Last Door, Season 2. We are halfway through Season 2, finished episodes 1 and 2, and episode 2 ended with good Dr. Wakefield in a cave system. Underground somewhere, and then he was attacked by some weird spider creature thing, and that's what we know. That's what we know. Now we move on to episode 3, the reunion. Dr. Wakefield travels to the island of Alis Moor in search of an ancient sanctuary said to hold the final answers to the mystery of the last door. Oh, okay. I don't know if there's a difference between continuing and hitting new game, but I guess for the sake of it, we'll continue. Previously on The Last Door. As a necessary step to understanding the mysterious disappearance of Dr. Wakefield's patient, Jeremiah Devitt, the doctor and his colleague, Johann Kaufmann, visited the manor of Professor Wright. Years before, Wright had been Kaufmann's mentor in the occult, but since then had been afflicted with a mental condition and could remember nothing. They discovered that Wright's research had been funded by the Playwright, the secret organization led by Alexander Dupre. While Kaufmann lay in bed due to a sudden illness, Wakefield followed the clues left by the eccentric Professor Wright, leading to the darkness of an underground labyrinth. There was something waiting down there, alive but imprisoned in the cave. In the deepest chamber of the tunnel, Wakefield met the dreadful result of Professor Wright's final experiment, which had been an attempt to cross the last door using fear as the key. Well, I was afraid. For 3 days you must wait. Alone amongst these dead stones. Only then will you be ready. To complete your journey, Mr. Ashdown. Oh. Oh, we're gonna play Chrono Trigger. Yes. Sweet. I think I can remember. It's terrible. Screech. More plain as Shatner. But it was not that of an animal. There was something human in it. A desperate cry for forgiveness. That was the sound of escaping Wright's maze. Very specific sound. You know, most people would not be good enough to recognize it, but luckily we have the subtitles to tell us. That was the specific sound for escaping Wright's maze. Are we doing anything? Is there something going on? Maybe I see some shapes. They might just be smudges on my screen, though. I don't think anything's going on that I can control. They found me on the beach unconscious, clutching the piece of wood that had saved me from drowning. Oh, of course. When at last I awoke, the letter was waiting on my table. Lieber Wakefield, I write this letter in my last moments of lucidity. I have not received word from you since I regained consciousness, but I am confident that you will soon return with information that is crucial to our investigation. The bravery that you demonstrate in the face of these latest discoveries is worthy of my most sincere admiration. I must now ask you for yet more courage. The doctors were unable to determine the cause of my sudden illness, nor have they found a cure. I have not much time left. My greatest regret is that I must abandon you to the difficult tasks that lie ahead. I implore you to persevere, now that we are so close to finding an answer. Professor's documents were filled with references to a place of dark legend, the Chrome Medan, an ancient sanctuary on the island of Ellis Moor. The exact location of the Chrome Medan has been lost, but the professor believed that its secrets may explain why his experiments met with such disastrous results. You must find this place, mein Freund. I do not need to remind you to exercise the utmost discretion. I have complete trust in you. Always your friend, Johann Kaufmann, who is now dead. With Kaufmann gone, I found myself lost, my life suddenly devoid of meaning. Wow. It was as though my friend had written a letter to a person who no longer existed. Weeks passed, maybe months. I did not count the time. The day came when I realized there was no other option. To honor my friend's memory, I had to keep looking. I had to find Jeremiah Devitt. Wherever he was. I can see the island in the distance, Ellis Moor. Season 2, Episode 3, The Reunion. And here we are, the island of Ellis Moor. Thank you very much. Ellis Moor. That's almost certainly not how it's pronounced. I'm experienced enough to know now when things are not just pronounced normally. Or at least as I read it. But, I don't know. I'm not going to try and decipher it. According to Kaufmann's letter, the legendary Chrome Medan can be found here. As Kaufmann emphasized, I must exercise discretion. For all I know, the playwright is watching. Who is this guy? Good evening. Visiting? I hope you enjoy your stay. Oh, sure I will. Wind through grass. An abandoned wheel. A peculiar cog is attached to it. Based on the cog's workmanship, it looks like it was part of a complex industrial mechanism, but someone has tried to fit it crudely onto that broken bicycle wheel. How on earth did it come to be in a village like this? Excuse me, are you Mr. Wakefield? I am. I have a message from Lord Donnan. Lord Donnan? For our most recent visitor, Mr. Wakefield. It is customary in Ellis Moor to welcome strangers with hospitality. I should be honored if you would accept this invitation to join me at my manor for dinner and an amiable conversation. Your new friend, Lord Donnan. Okay. Let's rock and roll. Can see it in the distance. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, but we're going there. Well, Dr. Wakefield, you are here on holiday then? Yes, indeed. I've come to enjoy a rest somewhere far from the stresses of city life. I see. Well, if it's distractions you've come looking for, you've chosen the right time of year for it. These days we celebrate a very special tradition of our kin. Something unique. We call it the Festival of Reunion. Fascinating. May I ask, what does it entail? According to tradition, for the next 3 nights, the spirits of reunion leave the confines of the other side and roam the hills of Ellis Moor. We wear costumes and masks so that the spirits will not recognize us and make us the target of shit I clicked accidentally. But I shall not bore you with the details. You shall have occasion to see for yourself. There are 2 engraved panels on the wall. They appear to be ancient, but I cannot decipher their meaning. Large statue of a Persian, not a Persian, a person. It is so eroded by the passage of time, it is difficult to tell any specific detail. Well, I guess it could be a Persian. An old mosaic adorns the floor. It depicts 2 snakes biting each other. Do these panels on the wall represent a classical theme? I cannot seem to place it. They are the panels of the first king of Ellis Moor. In the days of the Druids, we worshipped the great god Lu, and our kings did right by those beliefs. See, I know it's pronounced Lu now. Boom, knowledge! Well, I cannot help noticing this remarkable mosaic. It looks authentic. Yes, it is. Although some historians might disagree, we believe that this manor was built atop an ancient Roman villa. In our traditions, the double serpent represents a sentinel that protects us from the terrible threat hidden within itself. The statue is remarkable. May I ask what it represents? It is it's like Lov Fada. Or Lov Fada. Fuck. I know the first part is Lov. Or, yeah. Fuck. And after I just claimed knowledge. I'm gonna go with Lov Fada, but that doesn't sound right to my head. Usually, yeah, I just refer to him as Lu. Whatever. A hero and high king of our myths. Seem to be knowledgeable about Ellis Moor's folklore. I should very much like to learn about the island's history in more detail. It is true that we in Ellis Moor cleave to the ancient traditions. We haven't lost touch like some of those on the mainland. But I am no expert. If you are truly interested, you should talk to Miss Foster. Please forgive my indiscretion, but do you consider yourself a religious man, Dr. Wakefield? Well, it's a Cthulhu Mythos adventure, so no. No, I do not. You seem so certain. Might I ask why? My only faith is the belief that all phenomena can be explained through rational inquiry. Everything else is mere superstition, a result of fear of the unknown. I see. Okay, I got an achievement. Let us take a walk by the lake. From there we can see the beauty of this island as we talk, and be the better for it. The marsh in this valley is, for simpletons, a wellspring of frightful tales. The educated among us enjoy the tales as little more than distractions, knowing us safe from those visions. We know these stories to be nothing but superstition. But how can we be so sure that in the dense mist that emanates from the stagnant water, we may not find passages to other worlds? What if the wails that drift from the reeds in the darkest of nights are the songs of those from our worst nightmares? Many of the gods that men worship for millennia now lie buried in the common grave of oblivion. In Ellis Moor, we keep our traditions alive. Oh, they change, just as the times do, but they always keep their essence. These are our roots, Doctor. I must now take my leave, as my presence is required to start the rites of reunion. Feel free to continue your walk on your own. The village can be found just beyond those hills. As I mentioned earlier, you may wish to speak with Miss Foster. She is something of a resident expert on Ellismore's history. She can often be found working late at the school, the building right across from the quay. It has been a pleasure meeting you. Farewell, Dr. Wakefield. It has been a pleasure, Lord Donnan. Okay. He was interesting. Dropping that Lou shit on me. Excuse me? Hello, my name is Wakefield. Hi. What are you drawing on the ground? It's a symbol, not a drawing. Symbol? What does it mean? It's the final truth that'll protect us from the marsh dwellers. We're not allowed to say its name out loud. Marsh dwellers? Who are they? They're scary. My Aunt Kathleen says they were really bad people. You'd never see them, but you'd hear them in the reeds. They try to take you in there with them. That's why we can't come here alone. We always have to take someone with us. I must go now. Goodbye. Farewell. So, just as a heads up, in America, Irish accent is the exact same as a Scottish accent. Except in Scottish accent, you get some more things like that. You throw those in there. It's like the Dwarvish accent. Irish, you always try and go a little bit up, like a leprechaun. Anyways, they're similar. Let's head back to the village. Oh yeah, this isn't some cult shit. I believe they were burying mirrors in a hole in the ground. What a peculiar tradition. I mean, as far as traditions go, you can get a lot weirder than that. So, go ahead. Trash bin filled with papers. There's a drawing on one. Take that drawing. Look at that. It's a child's drawing. There seems to be a village, a lake, and some sort of creature. It's a Trogdor, I think. Good evening. To what do I owe the pleasure? I'm a busy woman, as you can see. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I've come to Ellismore to rest for a while. Lord Donnan said that I might find you here. Have you met Lord Donnan? It's been so long since I have seen him here in the village. I hope he is well. Fuck. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try. Welcome to Ellismore. Jesus. So you've not seen Lord Donnan lately? As far as I know, no one has seen him since... Well, it's been a few weeks. Now that the festival has started, maybe he'll be motivated to join us in the village. Did something happen a few weeks ago? Oh, sure, it was terrible. Kieran, his only child, disappeared without a trace. He went off to play in the hills and just vanished. No one has seen him since. Good Lord. And you say he's not been found yet. How is that possible? We all searched the island, but he was nowhere to be found. What can you tell me about Kieran's disappearance? Just that he was a restless child who loved exploring deserted areas. You might learn more from his classmates. His desk was in the back corner. What can you tell me about this curious festival? Well, it takes place when the constellation Reunion is visible in the sky. On those nights, dark things and spirits ride the winds that travel across the hills. As you may have already seen, at sunset the villagers don masks. They do this so that the spirits will not know them or carry them away to the depths of their underground caves. There's a group of masked people at the graveyard. Was that part of the festival? Yes, that was one of the first rites of the reunion. A very important one. As I said, people dress up to protect themselves from those that will come. But this is not enough. Since the mirrors they have looked into while changing know their identities, they bury them next to the old Fear Nog. Fear Nog. The roots of this tree grow in both worlds at the same time, so they keep the witness mirror safe. Lord Donnan said you're an expert on the island's folklore. He said that, did he? Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert now, but I've lived here in Ellismore longer than most, and I've heard my fair share of stories about the other side and its people. Might I ask you a question, Miss Foster? Yes, of course. Do you know the meaning of the word Kronmedan? Kronmedan. Yes, it's a very unusual word. Very much indeed. Kronmedan is a sanctuary of the Crooked One. It is a cursed place, the dwelling of the devil. I recall it from the tales that I heard as a child. Of course, our elders only made up those tales to scare us and protect us from harm. Would you tell me the story of the Kronmedan? All right. There's a hole in the ground up in the hills, not too far from the village. A hole so dark and deep you'd not see the end. Folks around here believe there lies an old serpent at its depths, ravenous for flesh, the Crooked One. Long ago our ancestors threw livestock into the pit in the hope of placating the Crooked One's hunger. Though that tradition has not been practiced for some time, so perhaps it would be best if you did not approach the hole. It is said that the last heir of the Lydesend, I don't know, once defied the Crooked One by approaching the rim with an iron amulet in her hand. It is general knowledge that beings from the other side detest iron, so the cursing and the shouting of the young Lydesend received no immediate answer. But a few nights later, the Lydesend house was consumed in a horrific blaze, putting an end to the old family. I must leave now. It's been a pleasure. Pleasure was mine. Enjoy your time on Ellismore. Paper with black circles painted on it. Okay. And look, a screw. There's some kind of worm screw inside, the remains of an insect beside it, and some drawings engraved on the desk. I'll take the drive with me. It may prove itself useful. Okay. So I took the screw. I'll have to make my next Call of Cthulhu character an Irishman, so I can just do that accent for 4 hours. Oh, and I shoot the Shoggoth. Gosh, there's quite a bit more to do. Jesus. Return. Okay, examine the boat. Oh, I may have screwed up. Hold on. I think I went through the wrong... Open and pass through the gate. That's not a gate. Oh, I guess, alright, it's a gate. I thought it was a door. An old rowboat filled with stale water. Something sticking out of the water. Worn out umbrella. Doesn't look like it will rain anytime soon, but there might be a purpose for it. Sure. Wonder where this goes. Okay. No, fuck. Wasn't it? Maybe, no, that's nothing. Okay, I think I just need... I'm trying to get back to where I first arrived. Which I think is right over here. All the villagers are gone. There's a bottle. Bottle is floating on the water. It's caught in the seaweed, just out of reach. I think there's something inside. Bottle is just too far to catch it from here. Oh, should I get in the water? Nah. Find this broken umbrella. Paper is rolled up inside the bottle. Gods remain silent as the fog settles. We may look for the king beyond the clouds, but find the queen with a fiery crown. Ooh. Okay. Bouncing out of here, and we're heading into the hills. Found this drawing at the school. Is it yours? That? No, Kieran painted it a long time ago. Drawing is Kieran's. There could be a clue here of his whereabouts. It's just so funny. Okay. This house. What is this? That's the crooked one. They say a villager defied it, and the next day her house was burned to the ground. They say it was a crooked one, paying her back. That's the house where Kieran found the treasure. Do you know how to get there? Sure, it's easy. Sure I do. Oh. Okay. Now we go there. Oh gosh. A wicker statue sporting a pair of animal horns. The twigs look fresh. The Wicker Man. It says... Okay, here you go. Mailbox. The envelope is very old. It is stamped "Return," and there's a letter inside. My dear cousin, I am doing poorly. I would ask that you not call upon me here at Ellismore, not now nor ever again. Please keep grandmother's ring. I believe that she would have wanted you to have it. Yours faithfully, Bridget. There's something else in the envelope. Iron ring. House is falling apart. I must tread with care. Metal trapdoor. Seems to lead to some sort of basement. What could possibly go wrong? Was there any explanation for me being attacked by the spider creature? I think this basement might have been once housed a library. Looks like it was not burned as badly as the rest of the house. Even so, little here remains intact. Common carpenter's brace. A tool like this would be used for drilling holes in wood. Could be useful later. An ornate chest. Its inside untouched by the fire. It was probably open long after the inferno died down. There's a diary inside. It is signed Bridget Lydsen. Several pages towards the end are missing. August 7th, 1801. Words cannot express the gratitude that I feel for Aunt Mare's bequest. May her dear soul rest in peace. This house is just what I needed to still my nerves after the exhausting pace of life in Dublin. September 10th. I would not have thought to find such a remarkable library hidden away in the basement. It includes several magnificent tomes and the most picturesque customs of our land. September 23rd, I found Aunt Mare's diaries next to an odd iron disc, but the contents of the diaries were appalling. What could have happened that dear old Mare would write such things? The damnable place that she speaks of. I must know if it really exists. I am resolved to investigate our family's crypt. It would be prudent to wait until dusk before traveling to the northern cape, so as to not be seen. September 25th, the abbey was in such a state of decay that it was nearly impossible to find the mural painting in the dark. Fortunately, a dim light happened to shine through a gap in a wall, illuminating the face of the sentinel. I believe Aunt Mare's iron disc is needed to open the secret passage. October 10th. Is this the legacy of the Lydsen? I can stand to bear it no longer. Fire will put an end to this blasphemy and cleanse the land of our family's curse. And should the fire prove insufficient, may this testimony serve as warning. Miss Lightson must have found something abhorrent in her family's crypt. If I could find out what it was, I may learn more about the Chromadon. My intuition tells me that I must act tonight, or else it will be too late. The Old Abbey. Okay. Now, shockingly, against what you might expect, we're not going to the Old Abbey. Not yet. Oh! Wicker statue's burning. Who did this? It's a damn fine question. It's pretty creepy. It's a good effect. Okay. Heading to the shore. There's a barrel here. Gonna bend over this barrel. An old barrel lies stranded on the shore. Painted label reads mineral oil. It is sealed. I may be able to drill a hole in the barrel using this brace. Okay. And now we have a bottle. Now that there's a hole in the barrel, I just have to push the bottle in a bit, and I managed to fill it with oil. Okay. There's a drawing of some sort of spiked circle. Is it of the sun or something else? The child that I spoke with earlier seems to have left his mask here. There's a ribbon hanging from it. Take that ribbon. No! This is the ribbon that was hanging from the mask. Oh, we'll get it this time. You better believe it. There's no way it's gonna get away from us. Oh my god. Okay, but this time, I can see a lighthouse in the distance. Yes, thank you. That is the ribbon that was snatched by the wind. Alright, there's no escape for you this time. There's nowhere you can go. Okay. Got it. Red ribbon. I think it was part of the child's mask that was left behind in the hills. Like, why would he be so adamant about getting this? Adventure games. Okay. And we're still not going to the Old Abbey, but we need to go to the lighthouse. Ew. What a ghastly custom. This wicker man is in the shape of a hangman. Yes. Yes, it is. Wide copper pipe runs from the tower to the ground, just covered in salt and seaweed. Sounds like it attracted someone's attention downstairs. Okay. And now the door's open. Not exactly sure how those correlated, but... okay. Good evening. Would you happen to be the lighthouse keeper? My name is Wakefield. A stranger. And what would he want from me? I'm a visitor to Ellismore. This lighthouse caught my eye. And since it's dark, you thought it to be abandoned. Well, it's not. Even though I can barely see a thing, this is my house. Why is the lighthouse lamp not lit? Is it not dangerous for the ships? Do not let it concern you. Many years ago, the sea lanes were altered to avoid this coast. Now it's rare indeed to see a ship in these waters. After the incident, the lighthouse was never repaired. I can't do like a gruff Irish accent. It seems contradictory. I can't do it. But just imagine it. Was there a failure in the lamp's mechanism? Precisely that. One stormy afternoon, I suddenly heard a strong noise up in the light room. The clockwork mechanism had stopped working, and the lamp was off. I had never seen a failure like that. I could not get the lighthouse working again. You say you had an accident. What happened? I was checking the lenses, because the failure looked so very strange, and I was worried. All of a sudden, the light must have turned on. I was blinded, and can see nothing but fleeting shapes ever since. Has nobody else tried to fix the lamp since? No, no one in the village is interested. For them, the more isolated Ellismore is, the better. They do not care about ships or accidents, especially Lord Donnan. He sees anything coming from outside of the island as a threat. I understand. Do you know anything about the disappearance of Lord Donnan's son? A tragedy it was. A strange one, but a tragedy nonetheless. What was so strange about Kieran's disappearance? I just find it a bit suspicious that it happened so close to the reunion. It's too easy to be keeping secrets during the festival, being how everyone is afraid of leaving the village those nights. What do you mean? Look, folks here are too gullible. They'll do anything to protect themselves from their strange fears. They'll not eat corn, or drink milk, or they'll dig graves for their mears. And of course they'll avoid standing near a fearnog too long, because though the fiends cannot touch the tree, they're attracted to the smell of its resin. But surely it's all nonsense. Look, it's really easy to prove it all wrong. Just don't follow the rituals. You're a stranger to our ways, but have you seen any of the things I mentioned? Well, I did see a group of people in the village burying mirrors. Exactly. What do you think would happen if you unburied those mirrors? That a band of goblins would come out of the marshes to steal them? Nothing but nonsense. What of Kieran's disappearance then? Well, I admit I'm not sure what happened to the boy. But one thing I am sure of. This festival of reunion is nothing but a farce. And it would be just so easy to prove it. Might I go upstairs and see the light room? Even though the lamp is off, I should like to take a view of the surrounding countryside. Well, I do not think you will see anything, really. But if you are so interested, yes, I guess you may. Thank you for the pleasant conversation. I must go. Go. Go and be gone. Yes, yes. It's just entertaining. It's terrible. It's entertaining. Okay. So now we can actually fix this shit. Because we have a cog. Cog was a missing piece of the mechanism. I replaced it. However, the mechanism is still too rusty to move. And, of course, a ribbon to... Now I can oil the mechanism without worrying about it leaking. Oh, so we plugged a hole with a ribbon, of course. And now we pour the oil in. Cog was the missing piece of the mechanism. It has been replaced and the mechanism has been well oiled. It was easy to wind and now it's back to life. Even though the reflector spin mechanism was working, the lamp is still off. Looks like the lighthouse's electric lamp battery slot. Looks like the lamp is lit by some sort of electric switch, however its battery is flat. Perhaps I can find a way to recharge the battery. Okay, that was it. And now we head back to the manor. That's where we can recharge this shit. Wicker Man is still not burning, so that's good. This is a safety bicycle. I still do not understand how they managed to keep balance with such small wheels. It looks quite new, but its chain is broken. Oh, I may find a way to fix this chain. This game is off the chain. Combine the ring and the chain. Okay, somehow. The ring fits perfectly on the chain. I'm so sorry to use Bridget's grandmother's ring in such a manner. Still, maybe now I can get the bicycle to work. Oh, this game's back on the chain. The tires are too threadbare. I don't see how I can ride it safely, but at least the chain rotates. Ooh. Ooh, what was that sound? That doesn't matter, we're charging a battery. Now that the bicycle is fixed, if I attach one of its cogs to the battery's dynamo, I may be able to provide it with a charge. Freaking dynamo. Managed to charge the battery by attaching the dynamo to the bicycle's cog. Incredible. Okay. Strange mechanism runs from the mill's wheel shaft into the building. It seems to be lacking a small piece, like a screw. Yeah, apparently I needed to do that for something. It's sometimes unclear to me. Back to the lighthouse. We're moving along. We might finish this around an hour. It's possible. Here you go. Hopefully the battery has enough charge to keep the lighthouse lit for a few hours. Switch. Oh, I'm blind. Oh, I'm blind. Oh, I'm blind. Alright. Oh, it's burning. This wicker man has been set on fire too. Who keeps doing this? Oh, shit. Rope gave way just as I passed. What a bad omen. Village. Okay, head to the graveyard, and we're gonna dig up a mirror, because that guy said to do it. I think he's just, like, trying to get us arrested, or so. It's probably, like, a federal crime on the island. What an asshole. Like a big trick to play on visitors. I'm not too sure about this. Not too sure about this. Okay, I guess that's all I needed to do. And then we go in here. Glass shat. What was that? And then we leave. And now there's a big dragon there. Like I've damned this entire town by digging that up. Oh well. You live and learn. Oh, he's so creepy. It seems to be heading east. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get... What, was that a wicker man? I think it was. An ornate lever is built into the wall. Well, that's creepy. Oh my god. Ah! Stranger's mask is lying on the floor. Well, whenever you find a weird mask in a Mythos game, you always gotta put it on. Something is underneath the mask. An old iron disc, a drawing of spiked circles engraved on it. Oh, I've seen that. What is that? I can hear something wandering in the dark. I can see a deformed shadow in there, writhing and fidgeting. I cannot get any closer. Seriously? I'm so close. Okay. Painted man-sized wooden doll. It represents an old lady. Wouldn't it be woman-sized then? Painted man-sized wooden doll. It represents a king. Now that's more appropriate. Oh my god, it's on fire. Egad! Now this statue's burning too. Is someone following me? Yeah, no shit. Okay. Finally, we go to the old abbey. And there's another wicker man. Ooh, listen to that music. Light has revealed a mural painting on the stones, just as it did for Bridget nearly a century ago. According to the diary, the light from the lighthouse revealed the eyes of the sentinel. Like right there. A pair of evil eyes seem to glitter in the dark. Okay. You want me to, like, put a coin in? Mouth of the sentinel is wide open. Eat it! I didn't even look at the walkthrough for that. I didn't scroll down. I just knew. I knew. Hidden entrance is open now. What was that sound? Okay, so to get an achievement, which I don't know why, but this is a cool one. We go back here first, because this is burning. Burning again. And now that gives us the Wicker Man. Yeah. I'll try to get any achievement called the Wicker Man. Not the bees. Not the bees. Tunnel descends deep into the earth. Will I find the Leidson crypt at the bottom, or something? Dear God, I'm reeling. Kaufman, my friend, your faith in me was misplaced. I cannot. No, I will persevere. Oh my God. Going into the mouth of the beast. Oh, this reminds me of a movie called, I think it's called The Borderlands. It had like 5 different titles. Yeah. So originally it was titled The Borderlands. It was apparently released in the US as Final Prayer. But The Borderlands is a cooler title. So it's a found footage horror movie with sort of a religious theme to it. I recommend checking it out. It's got a very, very wild ending. Anyways, let's continue. Some old pages lie haphazardly on the coffin lid. It is as though they had been dropped here from the upper hill long ago. They bear faint notes written in a trembling hand. Down in this unholy burrow, in the feared Crone Madan, our worst nightmares crawl and die. Resting down here are the dauntless, those who dared enter the lair of the snake and the bird. Each of those men and women crossed the path between. They walked through the mist to the other side, where the ultimate truth screams in terror, and then they returned. These are my ancestors. Amongst the dead stones of the Kronvidon lie the proud Leidson, reduced to something far worse than dust or ashes. Could that blasphemy in the coffin be Aunt Mare's true legacy? No, I shall not accept this fate for myself. The engraving on the coffin is so badly eroded that the name is barely readable. Mare Leidson. Okay, I'm not going to do that to you. Otherworldly ambience, of course. Oh, we're walking. Hey, I'm walking here. Seekers of truth will sacrifice their wisdom. So to open the way to where the Fearnog blooms. Your offspring we welcome, its hidden threat. Only the light of your sign will carry its purge. Oh my god. Oh, this reminds me of another horror movie. Shit. I have to... The Shrine, that was it. Yeah, it was called The Shrine. I don't recommend it, but it had like, I don't remember, when I first looked at it, it seemed really promising, because it really seemed like some SCP wild shit of like this just insanity-inducing craziness, like in this mist, and I don't know, it just seemed really creepy when I first looked at it, but when I watched the movie, I was pretty disappointed. That has nothing to do with anything, but it reminded me because there's scenes with like mist and statues and anyways. Okay. Yes, you're all very scary. Thank you. Now we're playing Undertale. The ICU sound, of course. I'm familiar with that one. David? Under the mask. Alrighty. Adventure continues. The adventure concludes in the season finale. You know, they say that there will be a season 3 at some point, so technically the story doesn't conclude there. But they're not, I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with anything, but the company that made this right now is working on Blasphemous, which, look that shit up, because that, if you haven't seen that already, it looks really sweet. Like a 2D mindfuck Dark Souls, like edgy shit. Like, it looks really good. Like a little bit more graphically advanced, obviously, than this, but sort of a similar style. And yeah, looks pretty sweet. And it's going to be on the Switch, so you know that's great. I don't know when that's coming out, but I would assume after they finish that, they might go back to Last Door, but that's neither here nor there. Because we have yet to finish Season 2. That will be next time. So, my name is Mangg. Gaming Watching has been The Last Door Season 2. And I'll see you fine folks in the next part.